What's up guys, this is Dino here, and today I'll be adding the 6th part to What If Lieutenant Surge Sponsor Dash. Before we begin this part, the like goal this time will be 40 likes in the next 12 hours. That's right, we're increasing the like goal by 10 because I think you guys achieved that like goal pretty easily, and we are currently at 859 subscribers, so that means we have 141 subscribers more to go. So please hit the subscribe button. Let's get to 1k. Let's get the 1k special, which again will be what if Ash was born in the Dragon Clan season 2, where champion Ash will travel through the Kanto region and will have some pretty interesting adventures to say the least. If you guys watched the first season, you already know what's coming, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and enjoy the rest of the video. After 4 months of grueling and tough training, Ash finally exited the Safari Zone. A little bit better, a little bit stronger, and definitely a lot more patient than he was heading into the Safari Zone in the first place. Immediately after exiting, he went straight to the Pokemon Center to freshen himself up. He was starting to really stink from all the time in the Safari Zone. After that, he made three very important calls. The first one was to his mom, who was worried sick ever since Ash told her about his decision to train in the swamps. The second was to Whiskers, and Whiskers inquired about his training, and Ash told her everything about Team Rocket getting involved and Slowpoke evolving. Whiskers tells Ash that she is proud of him to have made a good out of a worse situation. Ash asks her what does she mean by that, and Whiskers replies by saying that Surge told her about how Ash was scammed in the Slowpoke deal, and Ash gulps nervously, but Whiskers tells him not to worry about it because mistakes are where we learn, and it was natural for Ash to make a mistake like that. Now, the only thing that matters from here on now is that Ash is more cautious with his money, and Ash nervously tells her that he will. After that, he makes a very angry call to Surge, who was busy in the Indigo Plateau. After Ash had finished yelling at Surge about telling Whiskers about the scam, Surge asked him if he is intending on challenging the Fuchsia City gym again, and Ash tells him that this is not even a question. Every day that he was training, he kept reminding himself of the humiliating defeat that he suffered just in his last battle, and that is how he was able to motivate himself to get up every morning, even though his legs were aching, even though his Pokemon were tired, and even though the sheer harshness and the sunlight in the Safari Zone was too much for him to bear at times. This is how he motivated himself to keep going. Surge tells him that he has no advice for Ash now, as he's sure that Ash has learned a lot about himself, and he's proud of him. So with that, Ash hangs up and heads to the Fuchsia City gym for his much awaited rematch against Janine. As he enters the gym, once again he encounters the familiar glass mirrors, but unlike last time, this time he does not fall into Janine's traps as he notices her approaching behind him. Janine tells him that just by this experience alone, she can tell that Ash has definitely improved. She then asks Ash how many badges has he won since the last battle, and Ash replies by saying none. He was busy training in the Safari Zone, and this will be his first match back. Janine tells him that this is the precise lesson that she was trying to teach him the last time. You don't just get things handed to you. You have to earn them. You have to earn it. And so the only condition that she will provide Ash with a rematch is if Ash is able to win two more gym badges beforehand. Now, the old Ash would have definitely snapped at this and maybe yelled some stuff, but this time he just gives her a smirk of confidence. He tells her that every battle that he participates from here on now will improve him exponentially. So Janine just made a huge mistake, and he wants her to be prepared for next time, because the next time the battle he will be in a different league altogether, and Janine tells him that she will be waiting. With that, Ash bids farewell to his new rival as he sets out towards the next gym stop, which is of course Lavender Town. He decides to take Route 15 to the Ghost City. Route 15 was the longest route in the Kanto region, and Ash thought that this was perfect. This is where he gets to test his newest Pokemon, Dratini. Now, Dratini and Ash had been training for 1.5 months, and they had made a lot of improvements. Based on power alone, Dratini was on the same level as Mankey or even Nidoran, or even Nidorino. But One thing that it lacked severely was finesse, technique, experience, and skill. Its raw power was definitely something to behold, but on the other hand, its accuracy with its moves were just not on par, even on average, even on an average level. The problem with Dratini was that instead of trying to win the battle, the first priority that Dratini always had was to create as much damage and as much carnage as possible. This also meant that even in battles where Dratini could have easily won the match by just being technical, it would take unnecessary risks to create a spectacle, which would lead to adversity. But so far, it had not been such an issue. As Ash made his way towards Lavender Town, he battled a lot of strong trainers, and surprisingly, Dratini was able to beat them all. Although in every single battle, it faced severe amounts of adversity just due to its highly unadvisable risk-taking nature in every situation. After finally reaching Lavender Town, Ash decided Ash went to the Pokemon Center to heal up his Pokemon, and after that headed to the newly created Lavender Town Pokemon Gym. There he met a young girl who introduces herself as a substitute gym leader, Phoebe. Ash asks her that by as far as he knows, the gym leader of this gym is none other than the former member of the Elite Four Agatha. And although he does not mind battling a substitute gym leader because not too long ago he was one, he was definitely looking forward to battling another former Elite Four member. And this is where Agatha just appears out of nowhere like a ghost, startling Ash and sending him flying back. Ash asks her if she is Agatha, and the old lady replies by saying that she definitely is, and she recognizes Ash as the former substitute gym leader for the Vermilion City Gym, and also as the trainer who just defeated Lorelei. She then tells Ash that she hopes he doesn't mind that he gets to battle her protege Phoebe instead of her. Ash asks her why is that, and Agatha replies by saying that Phoebe is her most talented student that she picked from the Hoenn region, and she thought that this would be a good test and just a good learning experience overall for her to act as the substitute gym leader for this gym. And this is something that Ash definitely knows about. Ash just nods, accepting that this would definitely be a good chance to battle against another substitute gym leader, because when he battled Janine, she was already the permanent gym leader, so this would be a good test for him. And by the looks of Phoebe's attitude, he could definitely tell that she was in the same place that he was when he was acting as the substitute gym leader. So in some ways, Ash would be battling a past version of himself. And although battling another former Elite Four member would have been really cool, how many times do you get to battle against your past selves? So the battle begins as Phoebe confidently sends out her first Pokemon, Duskull, and Ash decides to go with Dratini. The battle begins as Phoebe orders Duskull to charge in head forward with a Shadow Ball, and this is where Ash shows his experience by ordering a Thunder Wave, which immediately paralyzes Duskull. Duskull is unable to move, and Ash takes advantage of this opportunity by commanding a Dragon Breath. The Dragon Breath is really strong, but once again it lacks the accuracy and only manages to graze Duskull. But even with this slight connection, it holds enough power to send the Ghost type flying back. Duskull then readies up a Shadow Ball finally and fires it at Dratini, who uses an Aqua Tail to send it straight back at the Ghost type, causing super effective damage. Duskull gets paralyzed once again, but as Dratini moves in close to attack with another Dragon Breath, it unleashes an Icy Wind attack, which lowers Dratini's speed. Although the speed drop from Icy Wind is not as severe as the one from Paralysis, it's enough to slow down Dratini's offense just a bit, and this gives Dusclops a chance to connect with a Confuse Ray attack. Ash, realizing that due to Dratini's hyperactive nature, it being confused could only lead to disasters, decides to recall Dratini and send in Kangaskid, once again showing his much improved battling IQ, as the Ash of old would have definitely left Dratini out there just being too overconfident in his Pokemon, but this time it was different. He orders Kangaskid to use its newest move, Thunder Punch, a move that it learned from training with Raichu. and the punching power was enhanced just by training with Mankey also. This move was enough to take Duskull out, which was already somewhat damaged from its battle against Dratini. And Phoebe sent out her second Pokemon, Shuppet. Phoebe tells Ash that there is no way that he would win against Shuppet, and Ash tells her that he would definitely try and prove her wrong. Ash then orders a dizzy punch attack, and Phoebe calls him an amateur, saying that normal type moves don't work on ghost types. But to her surprise, the dizzy punch actually lands, causing some major damage to Shuppet, sending it flying backwards. And Ash tells her that she's definitely a lot like his past self, as he would have definitely dismissed a simple point that the Kangaskhan species has the ability Scrappy, which means that its normal type moves are also effective on or are also effective on ghost type Pokemon. After being hit by the dizzy punch, Kangaskhan follows it up by a bite attack, and this super effective attack catches Shuppet by surprise and lands with a critical hit, enough to take it out. Phoebe realizes that she got too overconfident right from the start, and now she needs to make it up. So, so, so she sends out her most powerful Pokemon, Bennett. As the battle begins, Ash once again orders Kangaskhan to get in close with a bite attack, and Bennett hits it with a Will-O-Wisp, completely catching it off guard and cutting its attack in half. Ash still orders a dizzy punch attack, which lands but does just half the damage, not nearly enough to phase Bennett. Bennett then follows it up by a close range Dark Pulse attack, which sends Kangaskhan crashing backwards. Ash, realizing that there is no way Kangaskhan can win this battle, decides to recall it and send in his own third Pokemon, Slowbro. As soon as the battle starts, Slowbro starts the battle with a Future Sight attack, setting up an attack in advance. Bennett then unleashes a rapid fire Shadow Ball attack as Slowpoke desperately tries to shield itself using a Surf, but one of the Shadow Balls manages to cut through the webs and hit Slowpoke with a super effective hit, causing a lot of damage. Slowbro then uses an Ice Beam attack, which connects on Bennett just partially. However, Bennett is able to evade most of the attack and charge forward with a Shadow Claw, and Slowbro tries to stop it with a Psychic attack. However, Bennett is able to cut through the Psychic with its Shadow Claw and get in close on Slowbro. But before the attack could hit, it is hit by the Future Sight attack, which is enough for Slowbro to get a free hit with Surf, which washes Bennett away, giving Ash the 3-0 victory over Phoebe. This is where Phoebe is in the same position that Ash was not too long ago. Phoebe recalls her Bennett, thanking it for a great battle. She then turns to Agatha and apologizes for being so overconfident in the battle. And Agatha tells Phoebe that that's all she wanted to hear. Now Phoebe is ready to depart on her own journey throughout the Hoenn region and take the gym badge challenge there, as all she wanted to do was for Phoebe to learn that there are definitely trainers much stronger than her. So that's the lesson that she was trying to impart on Phoebe, and now that she was successful, she knew that Phoebe was ready. She then turns to Ash and thanks him for the battle, as it was a huge step in Phoebe's Pokemon trainer journey. And Ash tells her that not too long ago he was in the same position, so he is more than happy to help. But regardless, he is awarded with the Tombstone badge or the Grave badge. I don't know. I tried to come up with a name for this badge, but every name just sounded way too creepy. So sorry for that, guys. You are welcome to assume it as any other cool names that if you could come up with. I will just call it the Tombstone badge for just purposes. Now with his third badge in place, Ash departs for his next gym challenge, which will be in Celadon City against the grass type gym specialist Erika. Once again, as Ash is having his own gym battles, his rival Silver is walking into the most important battle of his young career so far, and this was against the Vermilion City gym leader Viscous. Silver greeted her and immediately showed his respect, saying that saying that he had heard a lot about Viscous and how great of a trainer she was. and he was definitely looking forward to this battle and learning a lot from her. Viscous is impressed by the disciplined attitude displayed by this young man and tells him that she is also looking forward to this battle, and she hopes that Silver shows her something that the other trainers have not up to this point, and Silver promises her that he will. The battle begins as Viscous sends out a Magnemite and Silver sends out the fossil Pokemon Omanite. Viscous asks him how in the hell did he manage to get his hand on such a rare Pokemon. And Silver replies by saying that he managed to find a fossil in Mount Moon, and he was able to get the fossil to the Pewter City gym leader Brock, who was more than happy to take it to the resurrection center and have it resurrected. And so far, Omanite had done a really great job. Viscous tells him that she's looking forward to this battle and gives Silver the first move, which Silver takes to set up Omanite with a withdraw attack, as Magnemite follows it up by Thunderbolt. As soon as the Thunderbolt starts to charge towards Omanite, Silver orders for it to use rollout attack, as it retreats into its shell and starts to roll towards the Thunderbolt. Due to the circular motion, the electricity is getting circulated and not actually hitting Omanite. It's just acting as a conductor and a medium, and deflecting most of the electricity away. The rollout attack hits Magnemite head on, but it does minimal damage. However, the next one does a little more and a little more. The cumulative damage by the rollouts is definitely starting to take a toll on Magnemite, and although it is able to connect with a hit here and there, only thing that these hits do is strengthen the rollout and make it even faster. Viscous finally has had enough and orders a magnet bomb attack, which stops the rollout and sends Omanite crashing backwards. It recovers, but for some reason it appears to have gained a lot of speed, and this is where Viscous realizes that it's the fossil Pokemon's ability Weak Armor. With every hit, its defense is lowered a bit, but on the other hand, its speed is magnified. And taking advantage of this, Silver orders a surprise attack, Mud Shot. This quadruple effective move hits Magnemite head on, and due to the element of surprise and the power behind it, it is enough to take the Steel Electric type out. Viscous says that she is definitely impressed so far, and if this was any other day, she would have definitely given Silver a badge just for this showing. But unfortunately for him, she was in a bit of a bad mood, as she sends out her second Pokemon, Jolteon. And although Omanite had gotten a decent speed boost due to the weak armor, its speed is nowhere near Jolteon's, as a quick Thunderbolt attack hits the fossil type head on. Once again, it tries to retreat into its shell and use a rollout, but the electric attack is way too powerful and stops the rollout in its tracks. As the fossil Pokemon emerges from its shell, it's still standing, but smoke is emitting throughout its body. It was evident that the electric type attack had done a number on him, but it was still ready to fight. But to everyone's surprise, Silver actually recalls Omanite, saying that it had had enough, and there was no point in taking unnecessary damage. Viscous once again compliments Silver on this choice, saying that he is definitely a special trainer, the likes of which he has never seen before. And once again, this is also an instance where she would happily award him the badge. But just for curiosity, she wants to see how far Silver can go. As Silver sends out his second Pokemon, Sandslash, and he tells her that he is going all the way. He's not leaving this gym without a victory. And Viscous comments him on it. Jolteon is once again the first one to attack due to its heightened speed, and it uses a hidden power, which turns into the shape of a vine, connecting on Sandslash with a super effective move. Silver is confused, and Viscous tells him that Jolteon has the hidden power with the grass typing, due to both of its parents being Leafeon. As Silver makes a mental note to himself that this is definitely a move that could come in handy. Silver then orders a Fury Cutter from Sandslash, but unfortunately for him, Jolteon's speed is just too great, and although Sandslash is able to land one Fury Cutter at a time, it is unable to follow with the second one, and thus the power of the Fury Cutter remains in the lower levels. Jolteon is able to connect with a swift attack on Sandslash, sending it flying backwards. But this time Silver orders it to once again charge in with a Fury Cutter. This time the main job is not to hit Jolteon with the Fury Cutter, but to get in close. And this is where Silver unleashes his secret move. This is Sand Tomb. Sand Tomb traps Jolteon, thus preventing it from jumping around and dodging Sandslash's attack. And Sandslash then unleashes its most powerful move, Earthquake. This attack is more than enough to take the electric rabbit out, thus evening the thus giving Silver the lead once again. Viscas's final Pokemon is a Pokemon that Silver has never seen before. This is Toxtricity. The lazy Pokemon immediately lets out a huge burst of electricity, which although does not affect Sandslash, but the force behind it is enough to stumble it backwards. The battle begins as Sandslash moves forward with a dig attack, but as soon as it surfaces, Toxic- Toxicity unleashes a boom burst attack. This attack completely catches Sandslash off guard and is enough to knock it out with one blow. Silver asks what the hell was that attack, and Viscous replies by saying that Boom Burst in itself has a lot of base power, but on top of it, Toxtricity's ability is Punk Rock, which heightens its sound based moves. So it was only natural for Sandslash to go down with one hit. Silver realizes that this is going to be a tough one, as he sends out his final Pokemon, his starter, Trusty Charmeleon. The battle begins as Charmeleon fires off a flamethrower attack, but Toxicity once again uses an overdrive attack this time, cancelling the flamethrower. Charmeleon tries to get in close, but once again Toxicity unleashes another overdrive attack, and as Charmeleon is sent flying backwards, it tries another strategy. This is to trap Toxicity, just like Sandslash did with Jolteon, and it uses a fire spin. And this time Toxicity unleashes another boom burst, enough to not only dispel the fire spin but hit Charmeleon with a critical hit blow, damaging it a lot. Charmeleon once again tries to rally with another flamethrower attack, but this time Toxicity uses a sludge wave, which washes the flamethrower and hits Charmeleon head on, poisoning it. However, this results in Charmeleon being pushed to its absolute limits and once again accessing its blaze ability. Silver realizes that this is the point where the battle turned around against Misty, and he's very confident that due to the power boost from Blaze, Charmeleon would be more than enough to defeat this Pokemon. But to his horror, Viscous commands a Venom Drench attack, and this attack lowers the special attack, speed, and attack of the poison Pokemon. And this is enough to snap Charmeleon out of its Blaze ability. As Silver realizes that there is no way he can win now, and he moves forward to forfeit the battle and to put Charmeleon out of his suffering, but Charmeleon stops him. It it then radiates the same amount of determination and the fiery aura that its trainer has, as it starts to glow in response. It is not going to let Silver down, absolutely no way in hell, as it undergoes its evolution into Charizard. Although Charizard is at a disadvantage due to its newly acquired flying typing, Silver knows that he can definitely win this battle now. If if Charizard is not the one to give up, then who is Silver to make that choice for him? As Silver orders a flamethrower attack from Charizard, and this time instead of a flamethrower, it unleashes a much more powerful move. This is of course Fire Blast. Proximity once again tries to use a boom burst attack, but the fire blast overpowers it and hits it head on, causing a massive amount of damage, and this is enough for it to take it out, thus giving Silver the victory. But before the proctor could announce the match in Silver's favor, Charizard falls down as well. Thus the battle ends in a draw. However, Viscous awards Silver with the badge nonetheless, saying that technically, Charizard won the battle as Toxicity fell first, but it was due to the delay in the Proctor's announcement that Charizard went down. So technically, Silver won this battle fair and square, and she's proud of him to have come this far. And before he leaves, she tells him that his father would be proud of him. And this brings a tear to Silver's eye as he bows respectfully before leaving. And guys, that's why I'll be ending this part. Thank you so much for watching. Sorry if I was stumbling a lot, but I was really excited about making this part, and it's a bit cold in here. I know. Enough with the excuses. Once again, subscribe to the channel if you like the video. Shout out to Pickledale. Shout out to Plus Ultraman for suggesting the story. And I will see you guys in the